Welcome to the NFL. Let's go! Let's go!
Titans fans, are you ready for some football?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome to Two-Tone Blue Nation. By fans, for fans. Two-Tone Blue Nation. Organizing tailgates and events. If you're all about Tennessee Titans football, this is your podcast.
Here we go!
And here comes your hosts, Big Luke, King Cole, and Austin Hall.
Welcome in, everyone. This is Two-Tone Blue Nation Talk. I'm King Cole alongside Big Luke, and tonight we're continuing our Superfan Sunday series with DJ Fast Nasty. I think he DJs for some other tailgate group. Maybe you've heard of them. I think it's Bussin With The Boys, something like that.
The Boys!
Yeah, obviously everyone knows Bussin With The Boys, but not everyone knows their DJ. So with that being said, we're going to get to know him, and we're going to get down to it right now. DJ Fast Nasty, how are you doing tonight?
Man, doing good. I'm just sitting at the house, having a beer, kicking it back and relaxing. Well, how about yourself?
Hey, the exact same thing right now, man. I got my feet propped up. I'm getting comfortable. I got an ice cold one cracked open, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you myself, and for all our listeners to get to know you as well.
Man, this is really cool. I appreciate you letting me come on, man. I'll take any chance I can to talk about sports right now because I am bored out of my mind.
Absolutely, man. I think we're all starved for any kind of content we can get, and hey, that's good for us, I guess, because we're trying to get this podcast off the ground.
I'll be watching people play a video game on TV.
Yeah, what is it? A to Z Sports has got the Blitz thing going on. They play a game every day. It's like the old Blitz games.
I watched some of that, and then I got all sucked into the UT thing with the Coach Doug stuff. So I watched some of that the other day.
Oh, my God.
I ain't watching it religiously, but it was just like I had nothing to do, so I put it on and watched it. So I don't know. I've been having a laugh with all of it. At least it's something to do for the time being until something good happens. But, hey, it looks like we may have some hockey and basketball soon, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to some Smashville hockey coming back. But real quick, you just drove this podcast off into a ditch because I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm a fervent UT Vol hater. All right, so the Coach Doug's thing. Oh my gosh, it just is so cringeworthy. I hate it so much.
Who is your college team? Who do you pull for?
Hey, look, man, Roll Tide. Nick Saban is God's gift to football.
That's all right. We can agree to disagree.
That's all right.
He cracks me up with those commercials. Yeah, my wife went to UT, so I'm one of those married into it kind of guys. I mean, I'm from Knoxville, but I was never big into like UT football. Like we didn't go to the games or anything. Like we watched on TV. But after we got married or started dating, then I started going to the games all the time. So I kind of married into it. But it's been fun. I like that because I've always just been, really the only team that I've ever really pulled for is the Titans for most of my life. So it's been fun to go to the Vols game. But to be honest with you, I'm not into it as near as deep as I am the Titan stuff.
Right, man. And I kind of joke, man. I give UT some props, man. SEC, that's kind of a, especially in the South, man, everybody's so it's almost like a religion, college football down here. So, I grew up in one of those. You see the license plates; it's got the family divided. It's got one team on one side, the other team on the other side. Well, I grew up in an Alabama-Tennessee house, and my dad is diehard UT Vols, and so we would, as a kid, we'd go and watch the games. And I didn't start watching football until after the T. Martin, Peyton Manning days. And so, when they started, Fulmer was kind of at the end of his reign, they weren't playing real great. And so my memories of watching UT were we'd watch till about the third quarter. My dad would get pissed off, change the channel to like Antique Roadshow and say, I can't watch this shit. And then I was like, oh man, UT really sucks. And then that just kind of turned me away from UT at a young age.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad here for the past few years. So it's been getting kind of more exciting. You think like, oh man, they're going to get a little bit better, but then they just also go right back off in a ditch. But it looks like maybe, here might have a good year, and then all this crazy COVID stuff happens. So then you're kind of unsure about college football. But I mean, it looks like that's going down because at least they're back to practicing. So hopefully UT doesn't have such a bad this year.
Hey, look at it. At least they've got Coach Doug's to root for.
Yeah, right. At least we got this video game coach to pull for. At least he's doing good.
All right, man. So getting back on track. Usually the first question we ask for all our super fans is tell us how you became a Titans fan.
I was always one of those dudes that wanted my own sports team because I actually grew up in Dandridge, Tennessee, and then I live in Knoxville now. I travel around a lot, but I've pretty much stayed here for most of my life. But I've never really had like my own sports team to pull for. I never felt like connected to any of them. And I always wanted the NFL team because I just always loved watching the NFL on TV. But when I was a kid, it was like the Cowboys are awesome. That's like the team everybody pulled for. But I was never really like into the Cowboys. And then finally I got older. And then when the Oilers moved here, it was like, oh, we finally got our own team. But we always joked because it was like the Oilers. Like they moved here, but we don't have any oil here. But that's when as soon as they moved here, it was kind of like then we started pulling for them. And then I got a job at a radio station when I was in college, and it was a Titans affiliate. So one of my first jobs was to come in on Sundays and just like run the board at the radio station. You just take the cue markers from the radio and make sure you play the local commercials and like the IDs at the top of the hour when Mike Keith says it. That was all you did. I just sat there and ran commercials and then listened to the ball game every week. And it was such an awesome job. So I'd never even been to a football game besides a high school game until I went to my first Titans game. And I remember it was in 2005 was the first time that I ever actually got to go to a game. And was when I was working at the radio station and we got tickets and went. And then after I went to my first one, it was like every year I had to go, and then each year I started going to more and more. And then I started trying to pull my friends into it because we mostly just went to concerts and stuff together. So I started pulling some of my friends into going to the football games. My buddy Matt Miller would always go with me to all of them. So me and that dude have been ride or die since we started going. So now we've got our season tickets together and we've made it to – we pretty much go to every game together. And now we've got like more people that we bring into the crew. And so that's made it even more awesome, like our buddy Joe and our other friend Matt. So now it's went from like just that kind of start from the radio station to now where it's like, I try not to miss a game. So I don't know. It's kind of wild how it's been from like I got to go to my first game, one game a year. And then that's how it was for like the first few years. It's just a long drive back then. And I worked all the time. So I try to make 1-2 games. And then now it's like, I don't know. I feel like I can't miss one.
So, man, I got a question for you. How did you end up getting hooked up with Bussin With The Boys?
I guess just randomly. I'm made friends with Hang Tennessee kind of just on Twitter, just kind of like how we all met, And I DJ all the time in Knoxville. That's kind of like one of my main things to do. I used to travel around a lot. Now I'm older. I kind of just stay at home, play at a few clubs around here. Those guys would see me do that on Twitter. And then, I don't know, last summer we were kind of talking about it. As soon as the Bussin With The Boys stuff started taking off, our buddy Matt Neely, RIP, man, one of the greatest dudes on Twitter ever. I think he hooked me and Ryan kind of up. It was just like something where we would all, again, just met on Twitter talking. And they always talked about doing like DJ kind of stuff at the Titans games. So as soon as the Bussin With The Boys stuff started kind of popping off, they got Ryan to do all their merchandising. And that was one of the things that they talked about was like something fun to do at the games. So they kind of, Hang Tennessee, Ryan, he's the one that kind of asked me first of all. He was like, yo, if we do this kind of tailgate thing, you think you'd like to come set up and DJ? And same thing. I was like, oh man, that sounds great. But then also I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm probably just going to want to drink a lot of beers before the thing, per usual.
It is a lot of work.
I was like, man, that sounds like a lot, especially because, man, I drive from Knoxville up there. So if I get up there pretty early anyway because I want to tailgate. But then if you got to get up there and set up at 7, I'm going to have to be dipping out of Knoxville pretty early. So I don't know. We talked about it. And then after training camp this summer, we all kind of hung out. And then we talked about it again. And it sounded like an awesome idea. And then kind of we got closer to the season. And then the Bussin With The Boys stuff started popping off. Their podcast started doing so good. It's just, as you guys know, it just grow and growed. And they were down to do it. And Hunter Briley was one of the sponsors of it. He's like really, really awesome dude. I met him from them guys, just from he was a sponsor of the podcast, and he wanted to set up and do the tailgate. He just wanted to have like a big thing and give out free beer. So as soon as they said free beer, man, I was sold on it. I was down. So that's what that's kind of how it happened. We thought we put that first one together to see how it went, and it was over there kind of in front of the Shoney's, so it's kind of right off the actual Titans parking, but it's not too far away. So we pick up a lot of people walking in from, I feel like, that park back in the neighborhoods, So we get a lot of those people just walking by, and it's kind of hard not to stop when you hear free beer, So that first game, it was a few hundred people stopped by, and then I guess you guys tailgate's probably the same way. Those noon games that you get a lot of people there, but those afternoon games, man, or those night games, it is popping. But we didn't get many of them last year, So that one afternoon one, it was really awesome that we had. So I don't know, so many people started coming by, and I guess really going online and talking about it, and then they wanted to keep doing it for the rest of the year. So I was like, I guess I'm into DJ. So that's kind of how it happened. I just kept doing it every week. One night I played a show in Knoxville I got off stage at like 2:30 a.m. I walked outside, got my stuff in my car, and then I drove straight to Nashville, and I crashed on my buddy's couch for like 3 hours. And then I woke up, and then I went and set up the sound at the tailgate. And then we just went right back to partying all day. It was a good time.
We're well aware how much work it takes. I can't tell you, every season there's a game or two I want to take off because it's so much work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. And every week it's like, Lucas, when's the tailgate? When are you setting everything up? Blah, blah, blah. I want to help out. And I get pulled back into it seems. But we do have to take games off. We do have to take games off. At least we don't make them as big. Because it's a tremendous amount of work, and you get there. I'm waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. To get over there. So we're unlucky because we never end up getting the 3 o'clock game.
Man, I was so sad when I saw that we didn't have a night game last year. I really hoped that Saints game was going to flex to a night game. I had got one of my friends is like an artist manager. He does like DJs, but they have like a huge, awesome like stage setup that just sits in storage. So I was like, man, if we ever have a night game, let's throw like an insane, like way over the top tailgate. Like just stupid. Like let's just go way over the top one time and go way more into it than we should just for the hell of it. Let's just see what happens. So that we just kept hoping that last game got flexed last year, and then it never did. And then I really hoped when the schedule came out this year that we'd see a night game. And I don't know. The Thursday night one's cool, but it's not the same as doing it on Sunday night.
It's real hard to party on a Thursday, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta like call out of work and then like take a vacation day the next day. Like it's not the same. And while we're on the topic of Thursday night football, man, I'm just gonna spout off my personal opinion. I wish they'd do away with Thursday night football.
Me too.
And just spotlight college football because I enjoy watching like the Mid-American Conference or like the non-Power 5 conferences play on Thursday nights because you'll see like Memphis and Marshall play on Thursday night football. I think Pat McAfee actually got into commentating some of those games, which was fucking gold.
I love that guy.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. I like a lot of the stuff that he does, but the fact that he's such a freaking cult homer, it's a little sickening. But yeah. He's a punter. He's barely even a football player.
He came out and gave that whole speech after Reggie Wayne at the draft, and I had lucked out, and God blessed me with these awesome draft seats to sit like right up front when it was in Nashville. So I felt like I had a duty, a responsibility to the people that gave me those seats and to the city and our state of Tennessee to not let Colts players go up there and trash us on national television, and that's why I booed them. So I had to sit there and listen to loud Pat McAfee give his whole speech after Reggie Wayne gave his whole speech. So I don't know. Ever since then, I've kind of been anti-Pat McAfee, but he is pretty funny on his podcast, so I give him that. And I love listening to him do like announcing.
Yeah, so I think Reggie Wayne is a dick, and I think Pat McAfee is a guy that I seems like whenever he's ribbing us, it's actually funny. He's kind of being an asshole, but he's at least got some humor behind it. I think Reggie Wayne just got up there and just straight up tried to rip Tennessee as much as he could in like a 45-second spot.
How'd that work out for him, though? Great season, Colts. Cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting back, any cool stories to tell with the Bussin' With The Boys guys? How are you fairly close with Will and Taylor, or are you just kind of one of those things where you stand off and do your thing?
Taylor probably wouldn't recognize me on the street. Will, maybe 50%. He might see me and know me and be like, "Oh, there's Keaton," but probably not. It's Will's super nice guy. Before he got picked up to go, where did he go to? Not the Saints, but when he went to the
Raiders, yeah.
He started coming to the tailgates and hanging out, which was pretty awesome. I mean, he just literally come, hang out with everybody, sit at the tent all day, drink beer, talk to everyone. It's the nicest dude. It's what a great time to hang out with. Taylor never got to come, obvious reasons.
What did it be?
Played.
Yeah, where the hell was he?
But he's always, every time that I have ever met that dude, he's been super, super nice. I snuck a beer out onto the field during warm-ups before I can't remember maybe it was the Chargers game. And so I've got it out there, and you're not allowed to take any kind of drinks out onto the sideline if they let you down there. So I sneak this beer out in my pants, and I get out there, and so I'm drinking a beer on the sidelines, and security sees me, and they're like, "Oh, this guy." So they come down there, and they're starting to escort me out. And right as they see me, Taylor the One, I had my Matt Neely shirt on, and he sees me, and he comes over, and he asked the photographer to take a picture of us, and I thought that was kind of cool, and it saved me from getting kicked out, because then they took me over there just throw your drink away, and they let me go back out and hang out. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, they're pretty nice guys, but no, I don't. I live kind of in Knoxville, so most of the tailgates, really the only person I ever dealt with was Ryan from Hang Tennessee, or Hunter Briley from the real estate place. Man, super nice guys. And then I was really pumped that Will got to come to those, but I was also stoked that he got to go back on a team. So I don't know. He may get picked back up this year, but like I told him, I don't care if you get picked back up. At least you got the podcast thing and can come and drink beers with us at the tailgate.
Yeah, Will's super nice, man. We went, I think, last year. I think it was the Chargers game. I took my little brother. I usually try to take him. We weren't really tailgating for that game, so we were able to go over and check out Bussin' With The Boys. And that happened to be one of the games that Will was there. He was over at the tent. We did the moment of silence for the boy, Matt Neely. And, my brother, he wanted to go over there and get a shirt and get a picture made with Will. And Will was super nice. I mean, made my little brother's day. And so, big props to Will for that, man, being just a genuine dude.
That was the day I left early because, you have season tickets.
Yeah.
So, that thing they do where, if you get somebody to sign up and buy tickets, they'll hook you up with, pregame field passes.
Yes, sir.
So I got somebody to buy tickets last year and sit next to us. So they just gave me 2 of those tickets to go down there. So I picked them for that Chargers game. So it was the only game I went and I started DJing, and then I got my buddy Irel, a local dude, to kind of come over and hang out and finish it. And and I actually dipped out and went down there and hung out. But I had so many of those natural light seltzer things that they give away over there. My Lord. I just looked like a weeble wobble the whole time on the sidelines. I remember going down there, but it's just a big old blur.
All right, man. So here recently, I've seen, we follow you on social media, and we saw you actually got the DJ set for the Titans. Was it last weekend? How'd that go? What was that like?
Oh, what a shit show that was. Man, seriously, pretty cool of Nate. Nate Bain does the social for the Titans. Super nice guy, man. A myth. We've almost got the guy fired a couple times, but he's still here kicking it. And I just swear, man, I love him doing it. I love how the social's been. It's been so much fun. And that was kind of one of his things because he knew that I DJ'd, and he'd hit me up about it and was like, "Yo, Eddie's gonna do this DJ thing, and maybe we could try to get some more people to keep doing it." I'm like, "Well, that sounds awesome. Let's do it." And then he was like, "All right, I'll hit you back up." I'm like, "All right, cool." So then it got closer to the day, and he was like, "I don't know, you may need to do it this Saturday. I'm going to find out if Eddie can." I mean, it's Thursday, So I'm like, well, I got to figure out how to do all this. So then he hits me back. It's like, Eddie's going to do it on Saturday. I'm like, cool. I'm going to watch it and see what Eddie does and then go from there. And so Eddie played an Eddie set. He played awesome old throwback hip hop, pretty much hit stuff. And it did, man, he crushed it. And then they never hit me back and let me know if we were going to do it again until kind of later that week. and I had to figure out how to get high definition sound to Instagram live mode because it's like you have to use your phone, So I had to figure it took me forever. Finally had to download a program that would let me use my computer to stream it. And then we got everything set up, was getting ready to do it. It took us forever to get logged on and finally ready to go. And one of the CDJs that I was using died right before the thing started. So it was like we had like 5 minutes and we swapped out the CDJ. All we had were like really old ones. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but like the new CDJs use hot cues like A, B, and C. So I set my setup to do it like last minute because I found out like Thursday. So I set up a bunch of songs. I was like, I'm going to play like crazy electronic music. I'm going to do something totally different than Eddie did. I don't care that like, that's a diverse group of people that look at the Titans page. I'm going to play stuff that I like. I'll open people up to a new kind of thing. We'll see how it goes. So I get ready to go on, and then I had to swap out this CDJ 2000 for an old school CDJ 900, and it didn't have any of the hot cues on it. So I didn't even think about it till right as the set started. And one CDJ, I was able to start my stuff up, and then I went in to mix my next song, and I had nothing set. And I was like, oh, my God, I hadn't really listened to the song, so like half my mix was like good, I was like good to go, and the other one I was just winging it, like I was just going for it in the track and trying to find a good place to start, and then hoping that I mixed it in. But I mean, it was fun. It was really cool to get to do it. My favorite part of it were I had two friends in the room with me, a guy running the camera, and then like one of my best friends, Spooky Jones, has been a DJ friend of mine forever. My buddy J-Mo was running the camera, and you couldn't really hear me talking unless I talked on a mic. So while I'm like DJing, what they would do would just holler out insults that people would drop on Instagram Live. And that was probably my favorite thing, was just to hear people like talk shit to me. One guy was like, I hope Clowny sacks this guy. Like, man, it was just like, I don't know. It was real funny to see that because a lot of people aren't into that kind of weird electronic music that I play, which is mostly what I do, weird like club EDM stuff. So it was kind of fun to open new people up to it, but also hilarious to see how much people did not like it. And I tried to play like a bunch of different stuff. I mean, when I first started DJing, I was just into like Pretty Lights, kind of electronic music. And then I got into kind of like dubstep. And then I guess, I don't know, then I just started like everything. So when I play DJ sets, it's kind of, I don't know, I try to tailor it to where I'm at most of the time. When I do Bussin' With The Boys stuff, I try to play like old school hip hop, like cool, popular songs people are going to like now, just like rock music, stuff that's fun at tailgate. I can't just be like playing that kind of stuff that I play at 2:30 a.m. in the club. But that's kind of what I did for that set. I was like, I'm just going to play a mixture of stuff that I would play in my club when I played my DJ sets. And it worked out. Like my boys that were with me seemed to kind of like it, and they always talk mad trash to me about my sets. So I felt like I did all right for people that like electronic music, but for some dudes that just kind of like Dierks Bentley, they probably were not feeling it.
Hey, so real quick, I've been following you. You've been sharing a lot of these posts about the tie-dye shirts with Amy Adams and Bud Adams. Did you design those? Is that a Hang 10 thing? What's your involvement with that? Because I see you're sharing it a lot.
So me and my boy Jimmy have this T-shirt company. I don't know. We have a group together on Facebook, and all we do is talk smack about stuff. And we try to turn that into making funny T-shirts. So we do like a bunch of Vols kind of stuff, mostly Knoxville-based kind of shirts. It's called Knoxville Johnny. You can check it out, knoxvillejohnny.com. So I don't know. I try to do the Bud shirt. I thought that was a funny idea of mine. So I sent him the picture of Bud flipping off. I was like, do this. So he's mainly, my buddy Jimmy does all my graphic stuff for me. And then I just send him ideas for it. So I photoshopped that mom picture. So like I made that and sent it to him. Was like, try to turn this into this. So we just, I don't know. I try to come up with ideas, and I can Photoshop and do stuff like that. But he's more of like a logo designer. So he does the T-shirt thing. He just makes the graphics for that. And then we use a awesome printing company here in Knoxville. They're called Riot Printing. Really awesome dudes. And I don't know. We just come up with funny shirts like that and send it over there and get them printed up and been doing it. We've been doing it for probably like 3 or 4 years now, and I never really did a lot of Titan stuff just because, I don't know, I never really could come up with any good Titans ideas, and there was already so many kind of T-shirt companies like Hang Tennessee doing such awesome stuff. But I think I came up with the Bud shirt and the mom shirt, and both of those have been pretty, I don't know, people seem to be pretty stoked on those. So I've been selling some of them on eBay, or not eBay, but Twitter. And then I don't know. I've been trying to come up with different ones here or there, like doing the tie dyes or like bleach stains. I think it's something fun. I don't know. I like seeing fun stuff like that at game day. We were talking about earlier going to the George Jones and hanging out at that Baltimore game. I was just walking through there and I saw a lady with this Bud shirt on with the flipping the birds, and I just died, man. I was like, how awesome. Like, I'd never met her before or knew where she came from. But there she was in one of my shirts, and I was like, this is so awesome. So it's been pretty cool to do.
It is awesome. Actually, we got really involved in doing the same thing. We designed a hyena logo during the playoffs and sold hundreds of those shirts. We didn't expect it to blow up, but we're fortunate. We got a guy on our team, Ryan. He works at EA Sports doing Madden, and so he designs all our logos.
Those shirts were tight, man. I remember when you guys dropped those, everybody was using it as their profile picture, on Twitter. It was so awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was an idea, and I told Ryan what I wanted, and he made it 1,000 times better than I could have imagined. So it's great to have those people around. Yeah, it is fun. It's fun to start a movement. It's fun to see our fan base grow. And
man, I think in the last few years, especially, man, we have been doing awesome. I think like just with all the extra parties and stuff that's going on at the games, how everybody's been doing on social media. I don't know. I think how people have been kind of coming together too to do this kind of stuff, like especially you guys doing all the road tailgates. I mean, it's really, I think, propelled our fan base into another level. And I think other teams see that. They see that, when the Titans come to town, that they mean business. And especially doing shirts and stuff like that. I don't know. It feels like stuff that used to happen back in the day that kind of stopped happening and you didn't see it as much. And then now you're seeing like fans that have awesome ideas and can do stuff like this and have the talent to do it are doing it because we're getting so many people back into the fan base and it's making it happen. I don't know. I think that we're really getting to the next level here.
It's the next generation of fans. It's the fans that grew up. They were essentially babies when the Titans went to the Super Bowl. So I'm in my 30s. I'm not one of those guys, and I moved here from another country. I didn't know what football was until I moved to the States. So, but you're seeing all these 23, 24, 25-year-olds that have grown up Titans fans. That's all they've ever known because the Titans have been around since 99 here. Or actually, sorry, 97. So anyway, they've had the Titans here this entire time, and they're growing up as Titans fans. So it's really cool to see all their creativity, their logos, what they're doing on social media because they're so much more savvy with technology than I am. So it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's amazing what some of these kids can come up with. I've been watching videos recently. We've shared a couple of music videos. The music videos we're sharing are like a 13-year-old made them, and they're incredible.
It's crazy. And that's what you need, though. You need, like, newer, younger fans, and then, like, I don't know, it just adds a new element to it. Like, you see the meme stuff that goes on with the Titans now. Like, memes have been popping for how long? But football teams and stuff like that don't really utilize them to their full extent. And then the past few years, thanks to Matt Neely, the Titans have been doing that like meme contest. Like, how cool is that? Like, what other teams does that where they actually have a contest to give tickets away for who has the best meme? And the memes are like ridiculous. They're so over the top. I love it, man. I think it's so cool. And I think that's just one of those things that keeps adding to it. And man, we're really poised to push it to this next level. The Titans, man, we've got a fan base that's ready for them to go all the way. And when it happens, we're going to be ready for it. It's going to pop off. We need a couple more seasons like we just had. And I mean, the tailgates and stuff are going to be unreal. I mean, all these games where you get the people coming in from out of state, like I get it. Nashville's a tourist city, whatever, but at the same time, once the team gets so good, people aren't going to sell their tickets. I mean, I get that people do it because of the money and they start going up so much compared to what you normally pay. But I mean, like, we don't miss a game, like I don't miss any of them. So I think that once the team, I don't know, I think they showed it last year, going all the ways that they did. If they'd have won that AFC champ game, man, it would be a different ball game right off the bat this year. But even then, we made it so much farther than people expected. I was really hoping for this year, the atmosphere to bump up from last year. But then now I've been kind of worried with all the stuff that's been going on. But I still think we're ready to take it up a notch.
I think we are too. I don't think we're ever going to be that like we were in '99 when it comes to fan attendance, and that's because Nashville's just so much more popular than it was back then. You're going to see this with Vegas. So the Las Vegas Raiders, I heard they've sold every ticket and all their PSLs, and you're going to see a lot more road teams at Raiders games now, or road fans, sorry, at Raiders games, and that's because they're in Vegas. That's just what happens.
Cheap. It's cheap to fly there.
Exactly. It's cheap. Hotels are cheap. It's cheap to fly. It's a great place to go with your boys, to have a good night out. You're definitely not gonna see it all black. It's gonna be very different than you've seen in the past with Raiders games. So it's just Nashville's too attractive a spot now. So we're never gonna be the Cleveland Browns where you have all Browns fans in there.
Nobody's trying to go to Cleveland,
Yeah, exactly.
unless you have to go to Cleveland, man. Nobody's trying to go there. Nashville, that's a different ballgame, man. You can go there and have fun. I do like the stuff that they're starting to institute with the team to recognize diehard fans like all of us that show up to the games. Like they got that new thing this year called the Titanium Tough Squad or whatever that is, where you make it up, just like you sign up for it on the Titans website, and then as long as you make it to, I think, at least 7 of the regular season home games, then you enter in, I don't know, they enter you into one of the things was like you win Super Bowl tickets, you automatically get some kind of jacket that they send you, and then like a bunch of money for concessions to use for the following year, the next year. And to me, I was like, man, this is just like free stuff to me because I was already coming. But I think that's cool. I think that's a little extra perk to get people to show up to the games instead of sell their tickets. So I like that they're doing that for people that are being diehard. It kind of shows that the Titans care about people like us.
You talk about caring. You mentioned Nate earlier. Since he's taken over the social media account, it has been 1,000 times better. He really interacts with fans. The content's been amazing. He helped us with both the Kansas City and the New England tailgates on the road this year. So yeah, it's across the board from sales and marketing to social media to just the organization as a whole, from GM down to up to Amy Adams.
Man, I can't say enough good things about Nate Bain. The dude has been the best social media person I could have ever asked for. He's literally all the stuff that we do, he's on board with it. If I have like suggestions about stuff, he like listens to it. He's like follows you on Twitter, so he sees the stuff that you do, he recognizes it. I don't know. I've never felt so included like I have the past few years. Just since, I don't know, he seems like he listens to stuff that you have to say about it. And I don't know, he genuinely seems to care. His parents have PSLs, like he was a Titans fan. He got that job. He actually worked at UT for the going to UT. And then he went to Oregon and UT both, but he did a lot of stuff for the UT basketball team. And then he got a job at the Rams and then came back to this job here. And I mean, you can tell that the dude is down with Titans football, and it's not just like a social media job for him. You can tell he cares his job and he cares what he's doing. And that, I don't know, I think that goes a long way, especially with all of us, because most people like us, we're on Twitter, we're joking, we're having fun. I think he sees that, and he uses that to help make the team better. Last year, like at that last Saints game, he was taking one of the managers from marketing from the Titans, Gil Beverly. Oh man, super nice guy. They were just walking around checking out people's tailgates, man. I'm sure they probably come by and check y'all's out. That's all they did. They just walked around the lot and checked out how popular the tailgates were. And I think that's awesome, man. It just shows that the team cares about us and sees that we're not just fans showing up to have a good time, watch a football game, but that we really care about the team. So I think it's really cool.
I agree. I think that he just does a fantastic job. The only mistake the team has made has been getting rid of Dion as the Titan man, as the what do they call him? Kronos? Yeah.
Okay. Don't know what happened there, but I do think I did like that guy. I liked him a lot. Man, that dude was cut up. This new dude's pretty cut up too, but I don't really know why you got a new dude when you just got that guy. But I have seen that this new cat is on the TV show. Have you seen that? He's like, come on, the Titans games thing.
Yeah. He let us down. To be honest with you, man. So I'm outside. I'm outside playing with the kids and the dog. My wife's cooking dinner, and she says, "Hey, have you seen the Titan games?" I was like, "You mean like with The Rock?" She's like, "Yeah. Hey, the Titans mascot guy, the guy that's real jacked. He's going to be on there. He's doing it." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So like I'm trying to get inside, watch it, and I'm hyped up. Whether it's something to do with the Titans. So I watch it, and it's like. This dude just goes up there and gets embarrassed by, I don't want to call him an average Joe because obviously the dude's in phenomenal shape. But, you get this guy who's a professional bodybuilder getting just smoked by a guy that I think has like a regular 9-to-5 job and lifts weights on the side. Which reaffirmed, I was like, man, we need to bring back the original guy back. This guy ain't it.
Everyone was raving about our new mascot. I don't know why they made the change. And I know Dion personally, so maybe I'm a little biased. But Dion told me he didn't even know what was going to happen.
That's suspicious because everybody liked that guy. I mean, he just fit the role so perfect, I thought. And I don't know. He seemed like he fit the role better than the new guy. I don't know. This actually, I think, needs to be investigated further. I'm going to pull some channels. I'm going to ask some people what the hell happened here, so I can find out because now I'm curious.
I think Dion should have been offered a contract, personally.
Right, sign this man. He was huge, dude. He was ripped. I mean, that dude, I'm talking about it. He could, if you threw a fruit at him, his abs would just slice it into. I just drink beers, man. I don't have no 6-pack, but I got the full keg.
Yeah, man. Chicks definitely dig the tailgate bod, so I think we've got that covered. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and we're gonna get into the rapid fire, maybe the not so rapid fire Q&A to round this out. You ready?
Let's roll.
All right, man. The NFL team that you hate the most.
Jags.
Love it. All right. So you're a DJ. Tell me a song or maybe a genre or something that gets overplayed at events.
Pop country.
You have a particular band that you just want to run in the mud real quick?
Florida Georgia Line, Peace Out.
That's not real country, and it's not real hip-hop. It's not even music. Favorite pregame food and drink of choice?
I'm a natural light man. That's pretty much the only thing I want to take down. I like to get some pizza pregame and just take down a bunch of natural lights, and then I'm going to feel good about our chances.
All right. Pregame superstition.
Pregame superstition. I really don't have any, I don't think. I have shotgun and a beer. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I feel like has to go down before the game starts is at least one beer needs to be shotgun.
We're going to have to crunch the numbers on a number of shotgun beers as opposed to wins and losses in the seasons. We'll have to do an off-season study on that.
We could check the stats.
All right. Give me 3 Titans in Titans history who, in your mind, don't get enough credit or who are underrated.
Oh, man. 3 people that are underrated in history. Man, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
I don't know. I'm really drawing a blank. I know that I saw something about this the other day, and I made a joke that Charlie Whitehurst didn't get enough credit for his role for the Titans because it was such a terrible time, and the clipboard Jesus thing was such a fun joke. It was really the only happiness that I had going into most games was making jokes about him.
All right. Clipboard Jesus, that'll count. I'll take it.
What a great guy.
Man, imagine if we had him now with social media the way it is now.
Just blow it up.
Dude, I remember seeing it was, I think we played on Christmas or Christmas Eve one day, and he was on the team, and somebody tweeted out at him "Happy Birthday" on Christmas, and he retweeted it and played along with it. It was pretty funny.
I'd say that this dude actually does get a lot of credit, but I think a lot of people don't list him as their favorite Titans player of all time. And to me, he's probably one of the most fan-oriented people for the Titans that I've ever seen as far as a player coming back and doing his part. I don't think by any means he's like an underrated player, but Javon Curse is like Mr. Titans. And sometimes I don't see enough people being like, I don't know, man, the dude comes to the games. He like comes to tailgates. He's like hanging out with the fans. He doesn't care that there's like 100 people line. He's like taking pictures with them. And to me, man, I don't know, my always great players are, of course, like Eddie, Steve, just the great dudes. I don't know. I was always a big Chris Johnson fan, big Delaney Walker fan. But in the past few years, I have really become a really big Javon Curse fan. I mean, obviously, I love the dude when he played, but just how I've seen him interact with the fans and the culture in the past few years, I don't know, man. I've become a way more of a Javon Curse fan than I used to be.
It's a good point. Seems like Keith Bullock and Javon Curse are really involved in the team. And I've noticed recently Chris Johnson, too, has been really involved.
I love that Chris Johnson has been coming back. So awesome.
Yeah, me too. You and I are huge. I'm a Chris Johnson fan as well. So
love that guy. And Keith Bullock, too, man. I was about to say that earlier. He did like a bunch of stuff during the draft that year, doing Titan season ticket member events, and just such a nice dude, willing to hang out with everybody, stay late, take pictures.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same experiences with him. He was always hanging out with the fans. He'd answer questions.
One thing I want to say about, I know we're talking about history, but I'm going to say it now because I feel like a lot of people don't give Corey Davis the credit that he deserves for how good of a dang job that cat does blocking out there. Nobody's singing the praises of the blocker most of the time. They're singing the praises of the dude that caught the pass or the guy making the run on the out route. Corey Davis, man, has been there, dude. He has been down to do that dirty work, and that don't show up on the stat sheet a lot of times. And I feel like a lot of people are like, I don't know, they kind of, because he's such a first-round pick, they want to see all this production. But I feel like that is a really undervalued thing for our team right now, especially how much we're running the ball. You know what I mean? That dude out there willing to take that big block is a big thing, and I just want to let Corey Davis know I appreciate that.
That's a good one, actually. Corey Davis is a hard worker and probably the best blocker on our team that's not an offensive lineman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're asking the dude to block a lot, and I think he's a very talented player. I really don't want to see him go anywhere else. I know they didn't pick up that fifth-year option, but that don't mean that he's going somewhere else. But I would like to see him come back, I want to see our team take it to the next level this year, especially with the wide receiver core. But I want to, I'd like to see him do a little bit better, especially to make it back for another year.
All right, so we'll recap that. That was 3 underrated Titans. We named Clipboard Jesus, Javon Curse, and we're gonna say the third one was Corey Davis, and I agree with you, man. Corey Davis, he gets shit on a lot, and I think undeservedly so.
And none of those were really like people that I felt like, not really underrated as far as like underrated as what they did on the field, but just underrated as far as like how much I appreciated, as people appreciate them as the players they were.
I love it, man. All right, last question before we get out of here. Give me your favorite current Titan.
I mean, I guess I'm going to have to say Kevin Byard. I like Kevin Byard so much, man. What a stud. What a nice dude. And just like all-around good player. And I don't know, man. Just something about seeing him on defense now. You just like know it's going down. Kevin Byard's back there, dude. He's going to pick it off. And he's been playing at such a high level the past couple of years that, I don't know, it's really pulled me around. For the past few years before that, Delaney Walker, definitely my favorite player. We all know how that's kind of been going for the boy the past couple of years. Well, I don't know, really stoked to see Kevin Byard just come into himself as a player and just keep kicking butt out there. So definitely a big KB fan right now.
Hi, I went to TSU. I'm a huge KB fan.
I mean, he's been killing it, dude. The past few years, I mean, what a great pick he was. What a steal in the draft. He's right up the road from MTSU, so it makes it like, I don't know, what a great story that is. And I don't know, he's been doing so good. He came to, right after he got drafted, he came to one of the Titans 5K events. Super nice guy again, down to meet everybody, take pictures, and then hang out. And then it's just, ever since I've seen him come on the team, dude, it just keeps escalating. And it doesn't look like he's stopping, man. I keep watching all those workouts that they do with Jason Spray, and it just hurts my back watching them do it.
It's actually funny. The last two guys we mentioned, Kevin Byard and Corey Davis, played each other in the Bahama Bowl, I believe. And Corey Davis destroyed him this year. He had like 230 or 240 receiving yards. But he was an absolute monster, and he burnt Kevin Byard a couple of times.
Oh, I'm sure that they do, man. I mean, I bet that's one of the main things they pull up on each other. I mean, when I whooped you in the Bahama Bowl.
Yeah, Kevin Byard, man, that's a guy that I'm excited. We're going to try to get him on the pod because apparently nobody knows who the fuck he is, and he's just a super fan. So, we'll reach out to him. We'll reach out to him, see if he wants to come on the pod. We'd love to have him. We'll definitely reserve a spot for him anytime he's ready. That way people, Deion fucking Sanders can, get to meet him a little bit better, get to know him a little bit better.
Deion Sanders is Papa Time.
I love that he shoved that in Deion's face.
He's literally got Papa Time's nation blocked, including Two-Tone Blue Nation. We can't tweet him.
I don't want to tweet him.
Yeah, right. I gotta say that, dude. I just love that he did that, and then ever since then, Kevin Byard's done nothing but get better. Man, I am totally here for it too. I want the Titans shop to get some more Byard jerseys in. All they got right now is Mariota jerseys and the ones I like. So please, for the love of God, Titans Pro Shop, give me a Kevin Byard jersey in the limited thing so I can wear it proudly this year.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, suck it, Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, man, that's going to do it for this episode of Two-Tone Blue Nation Talk. We appreciate you coming on. Shout out DJ Fast Nasty. Where can we follow you at on social media, for if our listeners aren't already doing so?
Awesome. Well, first I just want to say, man, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm telling you, the Titans fan base, this kind of stuff is just so awesome. Everybody is just doing stuff like this, and all it does is help create a bigger, more awesome fan base. And so thank you guys so much for doing this and having me on. Anybody else that wants to check it out, I am on almost every social media platform as @FastNasty. It's pretty easy to find. Stop by and say what's up. I'm usually down to chat with some Titans football fans as long as I'm not at work pulling my hair out.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. Let's get some beers and shotgun them this season. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to have some football. Keep the faith. And then let's meet at the tailgate and shotgun a few beers there.
Sounds good, man. Until then, though, everybody take care. Tighten up.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck those shirts.
Suck it, Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
We got to go.
Here it comes. Football.
But you've been listening to Two-Tone Blue Nation. If it's Tennessee Titans football, it's here. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back soon. But until then, find us on Twitter at TwoToneBlueNat1. Find Big Luke at TwoToneBigLuke and King Cole at TwoToneBlueCole. Find us on Instagram at TwoToneBlueNation. Till next time, Titans Nation.
Spartans! What is your profession?